Hello and welcome to another Magic the Gathering video. Today's unboxing is going to be the second of 5 intro pack unboxings for the Dragon's Maze set. And this one is Orzhov's Power. It's a white-black deck, and as always with these new intro packs you get 2 boosters as well as the pack. So let's open this up, have a look what's inside. Okay, so first up I'm going to take a little look at the actual deck itself in terms of having a look at the insert that comes in here and just see how the deck's supposed to be played. Let's just open this up. Okay, so Orzhov pack. So we've got a full complement of guild gates for Orzhov here, four guild gates. 11 plains, 12 swamps, and have a quick look and see how it suggests we play this deck. So it's got Extort in it, and it looks like the idea is to slowly bring your opponent's life total down, and then to finally, so the idea is you sort of take control of the game and then you finish your opponent off. And at the bottom it's got some suggestions as to tweaking the deck. So we can go to Great Crash for Obsidat Ghost Council, and of course there's a life drain theme there. That would suit the deck, and also Treasury Thrall, which helps you bring back cards from your graveyard, and also a suggestion to check out the white-black Planeswalker card Soaring Lord of Innistrad. So that's the suggestions for the deck. Now let's actually move on to the deck itself. As you can see, we have a how to play guide. And we'll put those packs to one side and open up the actual deck itself. Now, as I think I mentioned last time, each one of these intro decks contains a legendary creature, which is specific to the guild. And obviously this is a foil version of the card, as they do with the intro packs now. Okay, so first up we have Teza, I think it's Teza, Envoy of Ghosts. So it's 5 white-black for a 4/4 legendary creature, human advisor, has vigilance, protection from creatures, and whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, destroy that creature. But a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Bane Alley Blackguard, and we have 3 of those. So it's a 1/3 for 1 and a black. We've got a Basilica Screecher, which has flying and it's got Extort on it. So let's have a quick look at the Extort on this card and what it actually does. So whenever you cast a spell you may pay white or black, so it's sometimes called, well, it's actually called hybrid mana, so you have a choice of playing white or black. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain that much life, so you've got this very slow life drain going on, and there's 2 of those. Tithe Drinker, it's got lifelink on it, so when you do damage out with this, it also causes you to gain that much life, and it has Extort on it as well. And there's 2 of those. Basilica Guards, they've got Defender and Extort. Kingpin's Pet, has flying and extort. Sin collector. So this is a good way of checking out an opponent's hand and then choosing an instrumental sorcery from it and exiling that card. So this has an enter the battlefield ability on it, which will do that for you. And there's two of those. Cryptogast has extort on it. And also, whenever you tap a swamp for mana, you can add black to your mana pool. Dark Revenant, flying. When it dies, you put it on top of its owner's library rather than in the graveyard. So there's two of those. Uber Sar Gatekeepers, so this is part of the Gatekeeper cycle. With these ones, so these 3 in a black, 2/4, when Uber Sar Gatekeepers enter the battlefield, if you control 2 or more gates, target creature and opponent controls get -2/-2 and end of turn. So all of these gatekeepers that are part of the cycle have an ability that triggers when you enter the battlefield ability, but it only triggers if you control 2 or more gates. There's 2 of those. Bizarre Krovod. So that gives +0/+2 until end of turn to another target attacking creature whenever it attacks. Steeple Rock, flying first strike, 2 of those. More of the opposite act. So you get to sack a creature and then pump creatures you control by +1/+1 until end of turn. There's 2 of those in the deck. Smog Elemental. It's got flying, and creatures with flying your opponent's control get -1/-1. And here are the guild gates. So we've got 4 of those. So they'll help fix for white and black, although they do enter the battlefield tapped. And then we've got to move on to our planes here. And this is all artwork from Return to Ravnica. And then moving on to our black mana, our swamps, again artwork from Return to Ravnica. So in a moment we should come into the non-creature spells. So it'd be interesting to see what sort of removal we've got here. Okay, so we have Dying Wish. I'll just straighten these up. Okay, so we enchant a creature you control. When enchanted creature dies, target player loses X life and you gain X life, where X is its power. That sort of fits in with the life gain theme of the deck and the extort. It's also got Cluestone in here for helping to fix white and all black mana. Later in the games it's 3 to cast, 3 colourless, but also you can sack it for white and black and draw a card, so replace it if you don't need it for that later in the game. There's 2 of those actually. Right Control, it's life gain for each creature your opponents control, and you also get to prevent all damage that will be dealt to you this turn. Crypt Incursion, this one you can use to exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard, and you gain 3 life for each card exiled this way, so more life gain. Gift of Orzhov, enchant a creature, gets +1/+1 and has flying and lifelink. Fatal Fumes gives the target creature -4/-2 until end of turn, and there's 2 of those. Assassin's Strike, you can use this to destroy a target creature, and also it's controllable discard a card, so quite a high mana cost for colourless to black. And then we've got a fuse card in the shape of Profit and Loss. So we'll have a look at this. 1 and a white is our cost for profit, and creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn, and the loss cost is 2 and a black. Creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. So to play together, that will be 3 colourless white black. But of course with that fuse ability you can choose whether you play one or the other or both. So now when we open these boosters, what we're looking for is anything that's going to fit in You know, we've got in white or black, and also obviously complements the deck. But of course we might have some colourless stuff as well, and more fixing, so let's have a look. Uncovered Clues is our first card. Rubble Belt Maca, it's Maze Behemoth, so this is one of these from the Maze cycle. Affects multicoloured creatures in its ability. Fiashino First Blade. Hidden Strings. Got a Boros Clue Stone, so that's a clue stone for red and white. Sinister Possession. Whenever an enchanted creature attacks or blocks, its controller loses 2 life. So it's a way of locking down a creature, but they can still choose to attack if they want, or block, but it does mean they lose 2 life. So it's not a total lockdown. Maze Glider. Selesnya Clue Stone, so Clue Stone for green white. Warped Physique, it's in blue black. So moving on to our uncommons. Unflinching Courage in green white. Blast of Genius, black red. Okay, so we have a legendary creature in here in green blue. So it's one colour, it's green blue. For a 1/4, Voral of the Hull Clade. Legendary creature, human merfolk. For blue or green and a blue, you can tap it. For each counter on target artifact, creature or land, put another of those counters on that permanent. So you can see why that would be useful in a green-blue deck with Evolve and all the counters that are going on within Evolve decks. And then we have a nice foil, Is It Clue Stone? And as is the case with the Dragon's Maze boosters, instead of a land we get a Guildgate, and this one is for black-green. It's the Golgari Guildgate, and then just an advert card. Let me just check through that pile again. So yeah, so pretty short really on our colours. All we had is this Sinister Possession. That was usable in the deck. Obviously we had our very nice legendary creature there. Okay. So Phyto Burst. Smelt Ward Gatekeepers, part of the Gatekeepers cycle. Armoured Wolf Rider. Is It Clue Stone? Clue Stone for blue and red. Another Rubble Melt Maca. Hired Torturer, so this is in black, so let's see what this does. So 2 in a black for 2/3, has Defender. 3 in a black, tap, target opponent loses 2 life, then reveals a card at random from his or her hand. Battering Krasis, Trample and Evolve. Morgue Burst, black red. Maze Sentinel, part of the Maze cycle. It's in white, so see whether this would be of any use to us. So it's got Vigilance, and multicoloured creatures you control have Vigilance. Another Sinister Possession. Feral Animist is the first of our uncommons. That's in red-green. Showstopper, black-red. I have another Profit and Loss, which we had earlier. And then our rare is Render Silent. So for white and 2 blue, we get to cast this instant. Counter target spell. Its controller can't cast spells this turn. And our Guildgate is Orzhov. So we actually have our full complement of 4, so we wouldn't be able to play that if we wanted to. And then an advert card. So in that particular pack, in white and black, we had our Profit Loss, our Sinister Possession, our Maze Sentinel, and our Hired Torturer. So I would suspect that really those two will be the most obvious. do that one. Okay, there we have it. There we have the Orzhov Power intro deck with the 2 boosters. Thanks for watching.